Boom.
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 Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, Ben. Give us a boom.
Boom. I'm ready.
Boom. There it is. Yes. Guys, welcome back. Welcome back, everyone.
This is awesome.
BRB Podcast Presents. Yeah, we are live again this Thursday. That's right. It's a Thursday. At least it is Thursday here. We got a very special guest with us tonight. We got Ben with BSC News, man. I feel like if you haven't heard about Ben, you've been living under a rock because he is everywhere. He's all over Twitter. They got their YouTube. They are out there. You got to check out their website. We'll give you guys more information about that in just a bit. Ben, welcome today, sir. We appreciate you joining us. Looking good.
Yeah, appreciate the invite, guys.
Yeah. And of course, we got Bronze on the line. Bronze, welcome, Rico.
Yo.
Man. Yeah. Gang is all here.
Yeah.
But
I'm very happy. Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. Sorry, I got the lag. Be getting a new laptop. Ben, I just want to say thank you for showing up. You look amazing. You know what, you guys, but we got a laptop on the way, and we're definitely going to do it. But just want to let everybody know, those who are listening and those who are possibly going to listen to this later on, I'm very humble. I'm done in the crypto space, but definitely has shooken up the space and brought some utility to, just informing people and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited because just how this relationship has grown and what it came to. So I'm naturally very excited to be on here. Yeah. So thank you, Ben, for showing up, man. This is epic.
Yeah. No, we're definitely thankful to have Ben on the line with us. I mean, yes, and he is one handsome fellow. So we are definitely thankful to have him on the line with us. We do have a lot to cover. Of course, we go through our daily charts. We weekly, yearly, right? We want to talk about Bitcoin and the kind of current state. So we'll be going through that. We will be going through our very own top three at the moment, top three of all time. We'll each have our own take on that, spin on that. And then we're going to turn right back over to Ben. We're going to talk all about nothing but the goodness and the future of BSC News. So more to come. We do want to just plug the giveaway, folks. If you haven't checked out the giveaway Twitter, got to do that. Got to go to go either to MySpace, not MySpace. Does that even exist anymore? Go to twitter.com and check out Texan Whale or check out BRB Web3. We got that million BRB cash giveaway. $1 million, man, I wish. If we had $1 million, I don't know, we'd be sitting here right now. Rules are simple. Basically, all you got to do is like, comment, and retweet that post. And then, of course, be live here. So if you're here and you're listening to this, go ahead and comment on that. Like it, retweet it. This way you get a chance to win some BRB cash token. So guys, I'm going to just pull up the chart here just for a moment. Let me go ahead and shift the screen. Oh, Lord, there he is. Bronze, where are you? Yeah, man of the hour. Yeah,
I am the chart. We're going up.
Yeah, to the moon, baby. Let's pull that up here. Here we go. Oh, okay. Well, the chart is not as good looking as Bronze, but it's looking pretty darn good. So let's see if we can go ahead and just expand this just a bit. We talked over the past few weeks about the potential for a cup and handle forming, and of course, folks, this is just entertainment purposes, not financial advice. The cup and handle seems to actually be playing out. So as you have your basin here, then of course you have your handle, which on a 3-day chart really doesn't really show. Let me see if we can get it on a 1 day. You got your basin, you had your handle forming, and then the breakout. Now this is supposed to go all the way up to about 26,000. We'll see, but it seems to be on the right path. So I don't know. Bronze, Clintz, what do you think? Is this thing going to continue up? Is that upward trend real, or is this just a trap?
Yeah, I think it's real. I think it's real. The sentiment I believe in March where we're gonna, like I've been saying, we're gonna hit 30K sometime this year. I think that's realistic. Yeah. I mean, it could go higher, but I'm kind of like being temperament on my prediction. But yeah, 30K. Yeah, March. Like I said before in the show, XRP, the sentiment, it's going to change the game. Once the judge, makes his, her final decision. So, and springtime, with income tax return, people are going to be putting in some of their money.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Springtime.
Springtime.
Yes, Ben, what do you think? So, what I kind of like, if you go back to pre-FTX collapse, we're what, 2K higher right now? Maybe we were kind of building in this direction, and then we had the FTX collapse meltdown. I think this is, everyone was saying like, oh, this is a bull trap. We need capitulation. Like, if the FTX collapse wasn't capitulation, I don't know what you need other than maybe like a Binance collapse to be satisfied capitulation. That's kind of been my stance. Was that seemed like capitulation? 15K was like, is this thing? And then the Binance fear, right? That followed that up was like, okay, so I would say most money was like, I'm just going to hang out and see if this thing's going to zero at this moment in time because this is a pretty dramatic event. But the dramatic event is the capitulation, in my opinion. So, 23,000, what Braun said, 30,000, super reasonable to me. I think we were so oversold before that this is more of like a more natural price of where we should be. Yeah, I think we do that little trend up and to the right this year. I don't want to predict how high, right? But I think the worst is behind us. That's kind of my stance. Rico, what do you think?
To be honest, I think you're right. We got needed. Go a little bit lower than we thought. Absolutely. Because I was calling 19,000, right? When we broke underneath 38,000, I said 19,000 only because, the Wyckoff pattern. And that was our previous resistance in the past in 2017. Those who've been in crypto long enough have experienced, when we hit that all and, prior resistance become future support. We hit that 69,000 and then came back down. And we broke under 38,000. I was like, we're definitely going to touch 19,000, not sure. But when we went under 19,000, I'm not going to lie, I'm same boat with you. I was like, ooh, what's going to happen? I'm not sure exactly where it's going to go. The same thing with Bitcoin at the time. Either it's in the middle or it's going to go to the, and you have to be, it's not going to go in the middle with Bitcoin. It's either going to do what it has to do and people adopt it, or it's not going to do that. And it's hard to accept, these times that we're having pullbacks because obviously they hurt and they take a lot of momentum, take the steam out of the engine or whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's kind of necessary to have a healthy chart. So now that and like you mentioned, X and excuse me, we have Celsius and all these things that happen outside of the normal crypto space. It's just pretty interesting to hold on. If it was anything else, it could have a lot worse. So considering that now that dust has settled, and like you said, we're starting to pick back up. I think we got the medicine that we needed. Like Ron said, tax season's coming around. So there'll be more money being able to put on the table. People are already used to kind of doing this because of COVID and learning about, trading and whatnot. You have Robinhood, you have all these new apps that are making it a lot more easy and accessible for people to do this. So, yeah, I think I honestly believe that we got, the interest rates kind of slowing down or whatnot. So we got to pay attention to the regular one, see how that's going. But overall, it's looking like, this is the way to go back up. I don't see how much further down we can go. There's no, maybe 12 was the next spot before 19,000. Yeah, you guys let me know what you think.
Yeah. I actually love the sentiment. I feel like overall, we're all very much bullish on it. And we're not overly bullish, but I feel like we're bullish on it. And you have to really kind of remove all the emotion and think about where we've been. And when you take a look at this chart, sure, we hit it was just bad news, right? With Luna and then FTX, right? You saw that Luna dump, and then now you had that dump with FTX. But man, I don't know. I feel like we're at bottom. I felt like we kind of hit bottom back here. I don't know. I feel like we are headed in the right direction. We do have XRP news coming in March. We do have at least in the US, we do have the returns coming back, and that's basically found money that folks are willing to invest back into the space. So
Right.
I feel good about March, um, you know. But yeah, I love it, guys. I feel like we're right place. We're on the right trajectory. We're going to be continuing that and watching this very closely. And of course, we'll kind of update everyone weekly on our own thoughts on this. But I'm sure there's tons of thoughts out there. Just do yourself a favor, do your own research. Make sure you're not listening to just these beautiful faces here, but make sure that you are doing your own research, really digging in and understanding what you're looking at, as opposed to listening to some joker that you've never met before. So, with that all said, I think what we're going to do is we're going to transition this. Man, I love this topic. I really do. I really do. And I don't even know. Rico, do you want to start us off, man? I don't know. Do you want to start us off with the top three, the
Yeah.
very top three? What do you feel are your top three projects going on right now?
Well, top project is going to be basically you told you, and I was telling you about kind of studying blockchains and seeing the growth in developers and what like that. So because I have a buddy that I just met, neighbor or whatever, and he's new to crypto, so I wanted to take this approach as an opportunity to see how to bring it to somebody that's brand new and how to bring them in. I found the best was to bring layer one blockchains and stuff because they're not going to go nowhere. And then next would be obviously I would stick to, for somebody that's brand new, I think the safest way is obviously staying on blockchain tokens, those blue chips or whatnot like that. I think that's a great way to go about. But also on top of them, I think everybody should dibble and dabble a little bit with the DeFi space. No matter what, you should be able to find some utility in the space, whether it's BRB cash or whether it's tapping in and getting BSC news, BSC news, BSC news actually, but yourself educated on what's going on in the overall space, and also on top of that, what's not the political stuff, but if you guys go to BSC news, you guys will see that they're just not trying to show you stuff like that. They're really trying to educate people, and that's one reason that I've always gone to that site, right? Because I found like it was the best way, not only for myself to get educated, also my followers, my subscribers, and those who are possibly interested in crypto. So I start off, if you're brand new, there's two different types of people. If you're stick to the blue chips, so like it doesn't hurt that much when you look at the chart. You're not going to get too nervous, like that are somewhat degenerates, right? We're degens in some way where we can understand the chart going up and down pretty crazy. But start off with educating yourself and some blue chip, best way for somebody like that. Now, if you're somebody deep in the space, I would just look at somebody bringing utility, hottest utility. And I'm curious to see what Ben thinks about this. Is this is the new topic. This is the new buzzword. This is what's happening right now. Experimenting with it. Of our team, I've been experimenting with it on my own. Daily questions, just live stuff to do with crypto. So I'm curious to see what Ben thinks about AI word, this buzzword that's going on in the space.
Yeah, so I'll comment on the AI part first. I'm invested in precisely one AI token at the moment. It is called Pixia AI. They've partnered with a couple different people. One is Xmana in their metaverse. And the problem with trends, I think, is someone says okay, we do AI. What you're seeing a lot of, I think, is the art generation kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to actually really help NFT creators, I think, more than anything. So you can have this the AI actually makes a lot of sense where the NFT metaverse AI spheres meet each other. Like imagine how quickly a game developer can spin up in-game items using AI or in-game characters. So I think this AI as a service is really interesting. Now you are seeing a ton of projects that just put AI at the end of their token, right? And they're hoping to catch a trend. So I mean, like any trend, there's going to be a lot of good stuff and like a lot of just opportunistic launches, and we'll have to.
Is it this one?
I've got their. Let me get their website pulled up because I'm on their Twitter page now. But yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, we got Ben dropping off right now. let's get that for the listeners.
I will say it's a micro cap. It's at 4 million market cap right now. I got in at like $1 million. So it's gone up 400% in a couple of days. So don't like to necessarily jump into this. And like I don't tweet typically when I get into something that small. You know, it's like I'm not trying to get anyone else to follow me over a ledge by any means. But I saw that there was this connection with X-Man. It's like, okay, so they already have a legitimate project they're partnering with, and that for me is like, okay, they're building some type of at least connections within the space. So, you know, am I super bullish on it? Not necessarily. I think this falls also into the gamble category because it's a micro cap. Yeah, so it's gotta take it for what it is there. Yeah. But yeah, the AI trend's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I mean, look at that chart.
If you guys don't,
crazy.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind, I want to just chime in on the AI stuff because I've been really going pretty deep on this. Me and Braun's been talking about it, John. We've been doing personal stuff within, the team, seeing what this chat GT can do. But yeah, like you said, there's always these trends that come and go, right? And you got to be careful with these trends. They're just like a fade. And that's why, obviously we said the cheesy thing, not financial advice. But I think, like I've been looking at these tokens and seeing what's going on. Which one's bringing this AI technology internal group, their internal token or what their ecosystem, but actually something everybody can use, right? So some kind of AI bot that everybody can use, right? Any token can use, any project can use, because it's not so exclusive and allows it. And another topic with like the AI, pretty good as well, was the like Disney partnering with Matic and stuff. Also, and stuff like that, but also them being able to like, so maybe a princess and something like that, and that animation, that 3D rendering or that virtual reality can be brought up very easily in somebody's home or something like that. You see where like, yeah, there are parts of it where it's definitely easy and people are trying to, just grab some of it, try to grab it by the coattail, like people saying, just try to hold on to that wave that's going on. I think being some form, especially when you see like Matic and Disney partnering up, it's a huge part. That's like a layer one blockchain that I want to talk to my neighbor about, because Disney's not going to make these partnerships for no reason. And then you bring in AI to where in the future, they bring things or whatever like that. There's got to be something there, right? There's something on a small scale that maybe it's, like you said, a gamble, but I think there's some bigger companies and corporations that are seeing the real use case where, maybe you go to Disney World, you to venture, and it's all made by this guy where it knows your name or whatever, and it kind of more suited to you, more to the person. We don't know because AI came over, right, and it kind of changed up the space.
Yeah, I think, Rico, I feel like I hear you, and overall, I do see that there are many different examples outside of the crypto space that are leveraging AI, and they're doing it. I mean, I'm so just a plug. I mean, I'm not going to tell you which company I work for, but we do work for a very large healthcare organization, and we are leveraging AI for many different reasons, and there's just massive potential there that we're already leveraging that most folks don't even know about. I wonder if there are true use cases out there yet in the crypto space. I would love to see those. Ben gave us a really good example. Got to check it out. Make sure you're doing your own research, right? As Ben said, don't want to be that lemming, right? Just because Ben said so, well, then I'm going to get rich. Yeah,
Ben's been wrong make sure. 5 times. Yeah. Ben has probably been wrong more often than not. So But I will tell you one thing, and I'm not sure I'll give you the exact details, but one day I was messing around with the ChatGPT sandbox feature, like when I first found it. And there is one article on our site that was in fact written by ChatGPT because I was testing it. So obviously that's not a crypto use case, but that is potentially a game-changing use case for journalism, right? Because that's what we do. So all I typed in was write a 200. So now I'm actually about to tell you the details. Write a 200-word article about publicly traded Bitcoin mining companies, and it created this 200-word article about exactly that. And then I sent it to our editor, and I said, "Hey, check this out." And AI just wrote this, and he just polished it up and published it. So, yeah, I mean, it's like, and obviously it can't give opinion, right? But it can give, like, if I just wanted to say, let's say we're going to do an educational piece, like, how do you connect MetaMask to Ethereum? That can be written by ChatGPT. Like, we don't need to pay a writer to do that. So there's definitely a use case there. And I will say, outside of that, going to the topic of, my favorite things I'm looking at, Matic is actually super interesting. It's like the corporate America chain. Like Disney, Starbucks, like I don't want to misname any companies, but it's like there's like 10 companies that big name that are testing and deploying things.
Yep.
BNB chain, obviously I'm a fan of BNB chain, and one that's gonna be that I'm interested to watch what happens is actually Pi Network. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a controversial take in the traditional crypto space, but they've got 40 million users, and so I don't downplay the what would you say, the power of 40 million users, even if they're all getting it for free, right? So that's Pi Network. Once it's actually tradable, is going to be a really interesting thing to watch.
Yeah, no, I think so, and honestly, I wasn't familiar with Pi, but I've been following you for a little while now, and you're definitely into it, and there's a lot of potential there. So I feel like you have to check it out. You got to go check them out, see what they're all about, and kind of get your own take on it. But Bronze, what about you? Top 3? What do you say? You following Pi?
Yeah, I am following Pi. Man, there's so many coins. I do need to keep a list because sometimes one project catches your eye, but then sometimes it might get lost in the sauce. But yeah, top 3, Matic. I've been in on it since 3 cents from the last bear market. Yeah, just like what Ben said. Corporate America, Starbucks. I'm waiting for their NFTs. I have a Starbucks application membership. I'm on the waiting list. Disney, yeah, I mean, Disney is pretty much the ruler, right? Another one is Solana. I was waiting for when the FTX was going down and Solana was going down. I was like, man. I just kept on watching the charts, and I said, I'm going to get in if it goes below $9 because I believe it was going to go up. And when it went to below $10, I got in, got me a small bag, and now it's back to like $24. So, yeah, I really like that that project. They're coming out with a phone. I don't know if you guys heard about that, the Solana Saga, and they're really pushing. That's like they're really, that's like a great runway of getting mass adoption, with the Web3 mobile space. Not only, it's run on Android, but other than the Google store, they also have a Solana dApp in there. So, I mean, imagine playing games now. You can really now, like, you could really play Web3 games on there and play to earn, or play and earn on the mobile gaming space. I mean, mobile gaming space is huge, and then you're gonna have the peer to peer. They're also saying that it's gonna be like a hardware wallet. So I want to show a little quick video. It's less than it's about like 39 seconds. I don't know if you can hear. You'll be able to hear it.
You should be able to if you share
incorporated into the phone.
There
It
it
has
is.
the Android app store, right? But we also have our Solana D-App marketplace. What's unique and revolutionary about the store is this is how we're going to bring Web3 to mobile. Because right now, all Web3 applications are browser-based only. As far as hardware specs, it's got 512 gigs of storage, which is half a terabyte, 12 gigs of RAM, and the idea is that with the Solana D-App Store built into it, we are going to empower developers to have a native operating environment.
So yeah, that's, to me. I mean, of course, Apple is still king of the hill, but I love how Solana is continuing to push their innovation. And I mean, with the NFT space, like, DeGod is like, the blue chip. I know supposedly they're moving out, but even with the FTX debacle, like the value was still holding strong on those DeGod's NFTs, because that was like the first thing I was looking at. I said, okay, let me go and see if I can get me some DeGods, and they were still steady. So yeah, Solana has a lot of potential, and of course, my number one is BRB.
Oh, boo! Damn it!
Boom.
That was my number one. Well, I'm still gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
And I got a video. But
Yeah. Well, I'll hand it off to you, John.
no, come on,
but
man.
that's
Go, brother. You got yours.
Nah.
Spin it up, brother.
Yeah,
Spin it up.
it's just the marketplace of tomorrow here, but and it's here today. Our project has so much potential. It's going to be a disruptor. Once we get it going, once we make the breakthrough, it's gonna, yeah, we're gonna be a major player. So be on the lookout.
Yeah. No. I'm going to challenge you for a second. The gauntlet has been thrown down. You had said, Solana, they're going to go ahead and introduce something new. They're going to introduce an operating system. I would wonder what is decentralized about that operating system. Because if you know anything about decentralization overall, you obviously have all the servers that are needed and whatnot to move these pieces around, right? Traditional operating system. I feel like what we're looking at is a centralized operating system that's tagged Solana.
Right. Well, it's running on Android. Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
It's still running on Android.
Well,
But,
okay. So then let me ask you this because I got to be fair, right? What is decentralized about it?
From what they said, they're gonna have their own store, their marketplace next to the Google store, the dApps.
Okay.
Right. So now it's going to give
dApps.
opportunities to the developers to really adopt mobile Web 3. That's big. I mean, the future. I mean, right now you see developers are kind of running the world.
Yeah, no, and you're right. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but so I have a 6-year-old, and let's go by too quick. I have a 6-year-old, and they are teaching him coding in kindergarten. So I agree, and this is the entire class. He's not like in a special school; he's in a public school, and they're teaching him coding. So there is no doubt in my mind that development is the future. At least everyone, the public education system seems to think so. And I just wonder that we throw decentralization around too loose, because I feel like there are very few things that are decentralized. And I feel like there is a certain need for it. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe that there is a need for centralization as well. And my opinion of the whole thing is that the governments of the world are no way going to allow anarchy. They are going to want things centralized, and they're going to make it so when they start to come out with their own asset classes. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to check it out. I think
Yeah.
that's interesting. I feel like I love the fact that there's a centralized or the potential for at least a quasi decentralized DApp going on out there because I
Right.
don't know that I've heard of anything else like it.
Yeah. I want to rebuttal on that. It's with decentralization. It promote. I know there's good actors and bad actors, but at the end of the day, it's gonna push innovation, and that's what we need in the space. I remember when Apple was back in the '90s. You know, they were like whatever, right? But then they pushed innovation, and they pushed and pushed and pushed, and now they're number one. Now that they're number one, they're just kind of like there's really no innovation. They're just kind of like just doing just good enough. Just like the video game Madden football, they got the rights, NFL rights, and there's really no innovation in that. It's just I don't know, glorified like small updates here and there. And I mean, how are we gonna like push for more innovation? It's things like that, decentralization. I mean, you got Apple having so much, wall gardens around and restrictions, and they have too much control. And yeah, it's time. I'm about to get me an
Yeah,
Android phone.
yeah. But if you recall, when Android first started out, right? They seemed to have they were very loose, right? And then folks were getting spied on, and there was all these viruses going out there. I feel like you have to also protect the public. The public overall should have some sort of protection. The government should have some kind of play, because otherwise, what we have right now, and you take a look at what happened with FTX, right? People lost thousands, hundreds, millions, more, and there's no safeguards for any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we work very hard for our money, and I wonder if they should play a role in it. But frankly, I mean, being an American, I'm used to those type of safeguards. I mean, what do you guys think?
Mm-hmm.
Should we have those safeguards in place, or should we back off of it? Ben, what are your thoughts on that?
This is like so unpopular in crypto, but I'm like, why wouldn't we? There's nothing special about crypto that says we shouldn't regulate it, right? If you're making a financial agreement with
Mm-hmm.
someone, it's like for example, let's say I'm going to go create Ben token and do like a public offering. Just because it's crypto doesn't mean it has to follow all the same laws that already exist on the books. So, and I'm kind of like I'm a square, I guess, right? I'm like, the safeguards make sense because nobody wants their intervention until FTX happens. And everyone's like, where were you? Blah, blah, blah,
Right.
blah, right? And then it's like, but I just saw people
Mm-hmm.
tweet for 2 straight years like, screw you, SEC, screw, like get out of this industry, whatever. And then tons of theft happens, and then you're like, oh wait, turns out we maybe we need these things, and
Right.
it's super risky, right? It is like, so yes, I think there should be safeguards. So now I do think some of those rules are probably a little too tight, but that's just like, they want to protect us, but then they overprotect or something, right? So it's like there's got to be this better medium that currently doesn't exist. Kind of just like accredited investor
Mm-hmm.
laws, things like that. They're a little tight, but I like it. Then like with the phone example, I used to have Android. I switched to Apple, and I don't think I can ever go back because I know like I'm not going to get a virus on my phone. It just is what it is. Now it does limit
Mm-hmm.
the apps you can get sometimes. And then I just say that's cost benefit of cost benefit of the deal. I would rather have limitations than have
Pretty.
viruses.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you, and yes, I'm an Apple guy myself. This is actually brought to you by Apple. No, it's not. Just kidding. Don't sue us.
I have like 7 Apple products in my office right now.
Rico,
what are your thoughts, man? Centralized, decentralized, is a happy medium. What do you
yeah,
think?
yeah. I got things. First, I want to go back to like kind of stuff and the blockchain and stuff like that, right? Because the whole day kind of just into this whole stuff and about developers because it's not in my realm of things. Right? It's just I'm not that type of guy to write code or anything like that. But I wanted to see how has current market conditions affect normal growth of developers, and you will be blown away that the growth of developers has continued to grow. So, also developers were part-time at one point. Now they're full-time. So that even with the current market conditions, another thing that was that usually when a developer works on a certain chain, they stick to that chain. They're not that they develop on Ethereum. Like most of us think that they're doing a lot. That's kind of not all the way true because you assume that they're just copying and pasting everything off the board. That's actually not true. And these are statistics. I went through and nerded out for like a whole day because I just didn't know and it was bothering me. And some of the chains that are growing, like Polkadot is another one. Developers are even bigger than ever before. So having Solana come out with a phone, the innovation that is talking about, we already open back. These guys are already developers now, and it shows by the numbers. If you go to GitHub.com and you study when they're putting these they commit a code or whatnot, they've been part-time. Now they're doing it full. So now only people already getting new to dibble and dabble, but now they're eventually turning into full-time. There's almost like no going back, where these Solana phones are going to exist. There's going to be nonstop more development. Our addiction to innovation, right? There's no way Nokia from back in the day, and you're going to be okay with that Nokia. It's not going to happen, right? It's the same thing with these guys making these new whites, making these new apps. We're addicted to innovation, and we want things to work better. We want things. It's a natural human thing. Things work better, faster, and convenient for us. So we now like on Solana and the adoption. I'm going to be bullish for Solana. There's a lot of things that are weird about Solana because I want transparent always on the channel, and we're going to be bullish on it. Bronze got a bag in Solana, Bronze bag, but what's his? I found out like some correlation with Terra Luna. This is why it can get kind of sketchy, right? Because I'm not really fighting now. I just want to be transparent with everybody, and it's sorry, Bronze, but it was interesting that even through the Terra Luna crash, these developers did not slow down. Yeah, these developers that were building on Luna 2.0 and stuff, they continue to build and move. So it's just pretty interesting that the growth of the innovation basically is not going anywhere. That those two, this bear market that we've already done, whether it's BSC, the BSC chain, or whether it's Ethereum, whichever one might be, whether it's centralized, I think that they're going to exist regardless because they have their own need. They all thing. That's like the reason why we have BRB Cash here in our style of marketplace, and we can have Ben from on here at the same time, because I don't believe, and that's what we spoke about when we started the podcast, was I don't believe I think everybody brings their own thing to the table, and this is how the most this can experience the most growth and push each other, and we blur some of them together. I'm not afraid to blur some of these edges together and take these things to the next level because all of this is brand new. So we too rigid on something that's so brand new. Sorry for the lag, by the
No, you're fine. And, I feel like we're all in the same space. Really, I feel like we've all kind of gone through these ups and downs of decentralization, centralization, and where is it that should we land, right? I don't know that there's a right answer, but I do know that it cannot be controlled to the way that a lot of it is controlled right now. And I feel like that's kind of why one of my top three is ETH. And I feel like ETH has to be there, regardless of how you feel about it, where your money lies. When you take a look at the way that they are set up, you have to have some kind of backbone that is not controlled by any type of government, that is not controlled by any type of corporation, that is controlled. Unfortunately, it has to be someone, right? And for them, it's their foundation. And you have players from all different aspects, from all different places of the world, Now, hopefully that's being controlled, but there has to be some kind of solid backbone. Now, for me, I feel like we all agree that the gas fees are very expensive. There's no disputing that. But what's a good second? I don't know. I feel like that there are some concerns surrounding some other chains, depending on where they are in the world. I'm a fan of runner-up for me is Polygon, but it's fast, it's cheap, but there's not a lot on it. It hasn't been tested over time. Ethereum has been tested year over year. It continues to grow, and the hope is eventually it gets cheap enough where you don't have to worry about August 2 years ago, where you're spending $200 per transaction. That's just not feasible. Vitalik, I feel like, is getting us in the right direction. How far off are we? I don't know. But if I had to choose one, ETH definitely number 3 on my list. I feel like I'd love them to be number 1 because Bronze knows, from my standpoint, I've been an Ethereum head for, well, probably way too long. But I'm a purist, but as far as the number 2, and honestly, guys, my list isn't sexy. I don't have AI. I don't know that it's tried, true, and tested in this space. I have Uniswap for number 2. Now, I feel like as far as decentralization, as far as exchanges go, that's probably as decentralized as you're going to get outside of maybe PancakeSwap, which, I have concerns about some of the other swaps in the space. I feel like Uniswap deserves to be in the top 20 coins right now. I feel like if I'm not using a centralized exchange, I'm using Uniswap, at least for Ethereum based. And then of course, BRB Cash, right? And here's why, right? Because frankly, I just feel like what we're trying to do, and I feel like we have to change this. The message is not Web3. As much as I want to say Web3, that we're Web3, and that's kind of the buzz. I feel like we're next gen web. I'm coining that right now. Next gen web. You heard it here. Not Web 2.5. But I feel like there has to be these hops, and that's how we're going to get the 95%. The 5% right now is into it. We all love it. We all have our own spin on it, and we can do and maneuver and get through the space. But that 95% is stuck. They don't have a way to get into the space, and I feel like we have to slowly ease them into it, right? It's like anything else. Bronze and I are very heavy into information technology. That's kind of what we do for a living. And we know that users have problems. That's why they need us. But what we don't need in the public space, in my opinion, is we don't need you. You shouldn't have to call technical support to buy something. You shouldn't have to call technical support to transfer your money. We need to make it easy for the 95, easy for the normies. And that's what BRB is trying to do, right? We're not 3.0, folks. I'm sorry. It's a bomb. I know. I feel like what is very few things, and the things that I've seen at 3.0, they're ugly. They're not there. They're not polished. They're not ready. But we need to get to 2.5. We need to get to next gen before we get to 3.0. So that's my take.
I like it.
So I had a video, but I digress. We got into the weeds a little bit. I want to get it over to Ben. Boom. I love the boom.
Yeah.
I digress. I want to get back over to Ben. Ben, tell us what's going on in BSC news, man. Tell us what's good, the bad, the ugly. Well, no, just tell us what's good.
Sure. I mean, it's all good.
It's all good.
Yes.
Right? So we do kind of a lot now. We started as really just like news and education, which is kind of a lot in its own. And now we've got the NFT side where our holders get various Web3 utilities like boosted APYs or metaverse, NFT airdrops, things like that. Discounts with Travala.com, which is a competitor of Expedia. So that's kind of one of our coolest utilities. So like if you're traveling, you'll get about an 8% discount on that as a holder. Yeah, so that's like what we call our in real life utility, which we're really focusing on. we've got a lot of like Twitter Spaces. We launched BSC News Live, which is a daily show that we're having a lot of really great guests on. Also, like Pudgy Penguins was on this week. I honestly don't even know the guest list of the next couple of weeks. I just know it's pretty full. So yeah, a lot. I don't know. We're kind of, and then we started as just focused on BSC at the time. Now BNB chain, and now we really focus cross chain. Just trying to be one of the few outlets that really focuses on like Web3. Like we don't really cover regulatory stuff. We didn't talk a whole lot about the FTX stuff. That's really saturated news, we think, and so our audience is definitely smaller, but we want to help people find GameFi, metaverses, DeFi protocols, whatever it is. So that's kind of our aim, is really focus on the DeFi Web3 level.
If once you start going cross chain, are you gonna modify the name?
I got some things for you, Ben. I'm lagging.
No, it's cool.
So, Bronze, that's your question.
No,
we don't want to rebrand the name.
I got you.
Gotcha. So, we're not going to change the name. It's actually a challenge we have because the name, we get right now about 2 million monthly visits, right? So that's pretty substantial. Our Twitter gets well over like 30 million monthly impressions. So the brand name we love. Also, we work closely with Binance and BNB chain, and they really helped us get that start. And so we want to continue to nurture that relationship. I think it's going to be more about repetition and how we present these on the website, maybe. We're going to have various Twitter channels that focus on different chains. So BSC News, the website, could be the hub with like spokes coming out, essentially. No, but that's a good question. That's a challenge we have, is the branding of, and then eventually, it's no longer called BSC, by the way. So eventually, new people won't associate the name BSC News with BNB chain. Potentially, that's also we're hoping time helps us. But yeah, so you got the site up there. Like
website.
Yeah, I wouldn't change it either. Like what you said, I think that's the good play right there, where this would be the hub, and then you'd have the spokes.
Yeah, something we're working on, and we'd have to back catalog and tag every article, but like different landing pages, so you could have like bsc.news/ETH, and then that landing page is all Ethereum, or / whatever chain you want. That's definitely a challenge. So yeah, that's kind of our, I guess, our next challenge this year. So like there we have a cross-chain DeFi index, which is something that we think is really unique. So you can select the chain or various chains, type of projects, and it's just going to load like, you could do one chain, you could do 5 chains, you could look just at DeFi on 2 chains. Yeah. And I actually don't know how many projects are on there, but we're starting to cover a lot of ground on the multi-chain aspect of things. There's your Uniswap.
I saw the Doodles banner over there.
Yeah, that's with one of our ad networks.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and what you guys are also doing, with the live, I feel like that makes sense, right? And to quote someone I know very near and dear to my heart, he once said, "Video is king." Ron, that's right. That's a shout out to you. Yeah, video is king. I feel like
it is.
So what you guys are doing in the space is in expanding out. I feel like it's brilliant. It makes sense, and we need projects like yourself, teams like yourself, getting this information out there, legitimate, time well spent information, right? They say do your own research. Well, how do you do that if there's no information to research on? And you know, you guys got to check out bsc.news. They got it. They got it. It's right here. Check it out. What else you got,
I
Ben?
will
Come on.
say, I'll give you more. And that's just actually on that part is this FTX collapse has exposed a lot of things. And I'm not going to say anything in particular, but you know, FTX was basically privately funding a news organization and keeping it in business. So, like when we saw that, I was like, damn, I wish I got paid $15 million and had Bahamas properties, right? Like just to run this company. But we don't. You know, we don't have that. Like, obviously, we work with BNB Chain, but Binance is so awesome about actually wanting to have no interest in our company because they were like, we don't want people. We asked, you know, like, hey, you want to invest? They're like, no, we don't. I mean, that's just like we're not going to invest in a news company because we don't want to control it. Like that's you guys. We do our thing. Which is actually, you know, so it's also like when this all happened, it's so funny to me because it's like. The golden boy was the one controlling a $30 million, not actually worth that news agency. And then the evil guy in the space by people was the one saying, like, we don't want to control the narrative, right? So that's just kind of like a side note kind of thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, and obviously, a lot of times people actually.
I gotta get some time.
All right, go for it, Rico.
Yeah, my bad, but I got some questions that I want to get out, and I'm gonna squeeze Ben a little bit, right? I'm gonna do the fibers for natural passion of how this thing started, you know, my natural, you know, attraction to education base of it. And by the way, I have done a video on, you know, the travel part of what BSC News is bringing to the table. If you guys have not checked out that video, definitely go check BSC News NFT and get discounts. Fresh video. That's kind of what I really liked it about BSC. Spoke about like not covering a lot of, you know, the negative stuff that was really saturated, and like what made you, and this is kind of, you know, personal way, but what made you go this route, like, you know, to kind of be different from the other ones, not necessarily flood or nothing like that, but kind of to leave like the negative stuff out of it and really just focus on like education, like, you know, this passion, or like what was it like? I'm just curious. And
yeah, that's fine. I think so part of it's a business decision, right? So we don't necessarily need to compete with like Forbes crypto, right? And they're going to be talking about FTX and stuff. So it's like, okay, their SEO is going to be a little better than ours, obviously. So we don't need to go there. But this, and you know, so that's the one part. And so we're reaching a different audience. And another part of it is like, and this I think is where like it's more of the passion drive type deal, is the amount of people that really care deeply about the FTX debacle, which would be like kind of like your probably Western, more US based audience, whatever. Obviously it's a global thing, but definitely more US based. That's not necessarily our audience. Our audience is the Philippines. Our audience is the 3 billion other people, is kind of what I like to say. So we want to help bring those people education, opportunities, and especially we talk with like builders all day long. You know, we want to help the builders get their message out. To me, that's way more interesting. Like I'm like a positive person also, so it's like I could sit here and think about FTX all day long and want to sell all my crypto, or I could just be where the magic is, which is the developers, you know, like the really good stuff going on behind the scenes. And I forget who said it earlier. It was one of you guys said, like, about Solana, I think. You said, like, the price is down, but the developers haven't left, right? They're still there, and that's the whole space. So.
Right.
To me, that's so much more interesting of a story, right? It's like, yeah, the price is down. However, there's like 10,000 people developing projects simultaneously at this moment. So like, let's talk about that instead.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just take this opportunity to, let everybody definitely go follow BSC News on Twitter. Tap in. If you guys have been subscribed to the channel, you guys know that I've been dropping a goal to get my articles. I remember the first time, and since we get this opportunity right now, it was pretty funny because I was looking up for something to drop a video. I was just doing my natural thing, moving normally, and I'm starting to read this article, and out of nowhere, I read my name, and it's about a video that I'm dropping for fake token or whatnot like that. I was blown away, and it was just like, down to earth. BSC News was in it, and I felt like passion, some natural passion, some some positivity behind it to really people, because it helped me, and then platform where I'm reading this article and about me and the video stuff, I'm like, whoa, this is crazy, because I literally used that site to kind of better my knowledge on what was going on. So it's like, oh, it's like level stuff. So yeah, everybody to kind of maybe get the same feel that I got with that experience, and just acknowledging that there's some people out there in the crypto space. Obviously, there are business aspects built behind everything. Obviously, we need to make money to make sure everybody's getting paid and move forward. But there are people in space that are willing to bring some education. And I'm kind of an example of some of that education. I learned a lot from that when I first started the channel, was being able to date with everything. So I just encourage everybody, if you're new to the space, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, follow BSC News, and go check out their website, bsc.news, and right here. So I just want you guys to kind of know my background, me, and now we get to it as well. So I've been, a lot. So thank you, man.
Yeah. Did you just hear that? That was the mic being dropped. Boom.
No, Rico, appreciate that. And, we appreciate the videos you make. And we wish you success, right? And we really wish everyone success. And we all do this together. I think something that BNB Chain has that's from our origins is like so community based and supportive. And at least that's my experience. And then I see that on other chains also. And we just want to work with like everyone. Like we really do. Like it's like it's so fun every day. Like meeting people from all over the world. I was setting up a call with a guy in Australia for tomorrow, and we're trying to figure out like how to make that happen because he's 14 hours ahead of me. And he was like, we should do it. We're like, we should do a Zoom and have a drink. And it's like, well, we're gonna have this drink on separate days. Do you want a breakfast drink or am I having a breakfast drink? Like, how are we gonna? Yeah. It's so, to me, it's like so cool, right? Yeah. It's like I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. Like this is so fun.
Yeah, Ben. When you said like you work with builders, that I was like, man, I wish I was in your shoes when you said that, because that's really exciting. Like I said earlier, like they're gonna be ruling the world, and you having the connections, the network with that's really really valuable. So yeah, shout out to your platform, and
we'll help you make those connections. I mean, I guarantee you there's so many that would love to come on your show and just talk about what they're doing. It's
awesome.
Builders love to do that. No knock, but they love to do it. So and we love to have it. So it's
right,
awesome.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. It is, and it really is. It's a partnership. I feel like the tagline that we started with, right? I mean, we didn't start it, but we started using it, which is stronger together, and it's what it's about. And we needed that because if you take a look where we were, November, December, early December, everyone was kind of hoping and praying that there's going to be a Santa rally. Well, it didn't really quite come, and everyone's just depressed, and and a lot of them are just your typical investors. It's not the guys that are just digging in, focusing on the development of their programs, right? But we're stronger together, and if we can be that way, and instead of having these tribal wars, which you've seen time and time again in this space, stop it. Just stop it, right?
Agreed.
Let's just grow together, and this is how we're going to become next gen. I mean, next gen everything, next gen AI, next gen web, next gen whatever, you name it. It's going to be everywhere, and that's definitely the message.
Can you believe that an ETH head and a guy who really got his stuff going on BNB chain are talking to each other? How dare we? Like the hatred for the bull market of like Ethereum would be like, whatever, your scam chain, and we'll be like, whatever, enjoy your $200 transactions. But you know what? You know what's so awesome now is like Uniswap is deploying on BNB chain, Trader Joe is deploying on BNB chain. It's all going everywhere.
Oh, wow.
I think the tribal fights there'll be a thing in the past because it's like you can't be a Uniswap investor and be like, I hate where they're deployed, right? Like it's all going to work great together.
Right.
I love it.
That's what I was saying before. I think it's due to the bear market where when I was saying this is the meta right now, you're going to have a bunch of projects, working together, like, stronger together, that type of mentality. Now, when we're back in the bull market, it might be, fighting against it's a cycle. So.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, we're building together. We're stronger together.
Yeah. Who's the next ETH killer? We'll find out.
ETH killer, please.
Yeah.
One
thing I want to say, guys. No war.
No war. Peace.
What I want to say is and take this opportunity. Like I've said on the last few other podcasts, and people who really believe in crypto like us, right? There are those like tribal stuff that we are feeling through, not like that. But I often ask myself, like, if you really love this, you really love crypto, like, are you doing your individual duty as a person to make this grow? And I think those who are people like, John, Texan Wells, Crypto Bronze, Ben, that, co-founder of BSC News, and, talks to this little channel, the Moneybags Rico channel, and communicate individual duties to help us grow. I want to give a shout out to somebody in this FOMO Toshi, aka from the Mojo token. And since we're talking, and I want everybody to have a chance, because I think that's what's going to set a lot of people apart. Those who grow. Maybe in the bull market we can have some, a little bit of beef still here in the degen space, about if somebody's from the BSC side, the way they trade compared to side. But I think that's where people us to have these platforms. Ben, the BSC News, that now at first just the Binance market. I remember when me and Ben had talked about, dropping a video and letting people know about that. Now we got other chains. So I think it's important to give like to the people that are stepping up their individual duties to really help the space grow and kind of, lead by example. Yeah, we can have fun and bust each other's run a live stream and keep it, but at the end of the day, we love this space. I'm glad that we got to experience each other's passion. We got to get some background on what's going on. We're giving examples of those individuals that are to be doing what they're doing, using YouTube channels, Twitter, John starting the BRB Cash Token, getting us all together, doing these live streams. I think we're doing our individual duties and leading by example, which is a great leader, right? And letting those who are part of the youth that are going to be coming into the space, we're making it more easy for them. So this was, I think, a great podcast. I really love this. This was some great leaders right here. Yeah, this next level stuff. Forward to even watching this later on. That's how you know it's level.
That's it right there.
Hold on.
Oh no!
Those were his final words. That's it right there. That's exit.
That's it. Yeah, talk about dropping the mic. But oh no, he's still there. All right, you've survived. You've made it. Welcome back.
Yeah.
But Ben, any last words? Anything else you want to say about the project? I mean, listen, you guys are killing it.
Yeah.
Just appreciate the opportunity to come on here, and we'll definitely all keep in touch. Look for more ways to keep talking and working together. This was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun here.
I
So do
mean,
we.
yeah, for sure. And listen, you're always welcome back. Really, I mean, if there is any time you want to get something out there, get a message out there, please let us know. Um, we've been having a good run, and we've been having a lot of quality folks come on, and intellects, and those that know the space very well. And we're thankful for that, and we're thankful for you, Ben. Thank you for joining us. Um, if you guys haven't checked it out, one more plug: bsc.news. Check them out. I mean, I'd be surprised if you haven't heard about them, but you got to check them out if you haven't. They're the place to get all the information that you're going to need to start to do your own research. So, but guys, I'm sorry. One last thing before we let everyone go, we do have our giveaway. So we want to go ahead and let me go ahead and try and pull this up. I'm going to go and add a ticker. If you are this person right here, you should be receiving a communication from us via Twitter. This will be to receive your 1 million. That's right, 1 million BRBC Cash
I want to say
Tokens.
too,
So,
John,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I know I got the
Floor is
lag
yours,
body.
bro.
Don't worry. There's a new laptop on the way. It's going to be perfect, right? But I want to drop a bit of alpha, right? Just a little bit of alpha. Obviously, we can't say a lot of things, but we have stated that we are going to see a TEX exchange in the future and within the next 30 days. These $100, of course, not financial advice. You can hold on to these $100 or do what you want with them. It's your money, right? It's tokens, or you can hold on to them and count it together, read in between the lines. TEX listing is we don't know what's going to happen, but I hope you can connect those dots and put things together, and whoever wins those, maybe something good.
Yeah, well, I mean, for sure. And you're right. Listen, you don't need to hold on to our tokens. Sell them. In fact, sell them now so I can go ahead and have other folks buy it cheaper. And when this thing takes off, when we get on sex, oh, wait, am I allowed to say that online? That's with the C, folks. I'm just saying, get your heads out of the gutter. When we get onto a sex, we'll be able to then, see the profits come in. But, I just think that you're right. It's a good message. I feel like we're not quite ready. We're very close, folks. We were told we're not supposed to talk about who. I don't know why. It's kind of weird, but all right, we're gonna wait. So we're gonna wait, but it's coming, and it's coming. So just pay attention. Congratulations to, I don't want to mess up your name right there, but congratulations to you. You'll be receiving a Twitter here post quickly soon. We'll get your take on it, and you're more than welcome to join our next podcast. So Ben, thank you, Bronze, Rico, man, as always, you guys killed it, killed it. All right, well, guys, have a great night. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, thanks,
All
guys.
right, Ben. Thank you.
Yeah.
Later.